And that is Nobody There by DJ Neptune, Joe Boy, and Mr. Easy playing right here on Swahili Pot FM. Good morning. You're with me, Miriam Angel and Salim Barissa. And right now, we do want to take a look at stories that are making headlines in our area code. And we do start with the Standard newspaper. And on this particular one, we are bringing in an advocate of the High Court. Good morning, Lawrence.
Good morning to you. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Thank you. Thank you for having me this morning.
Thank you for joining us. Salim, say hi.
Hi. Morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm fine.
How
I'm
are
fine.
You, sir? Okay.
All right then. So we want to on the front page of the newspaper, of the Standard newspaper, it says today we reveal the face of the British soldier whose extradition from the United Kingdom has been ordered by Kenya's High Court. He is accused of robbing a 5-month-old baby of a mother, a family of their daughter, and an Anyuki community of a young woman who lost her life at just 21. Agnes Wanjiru's spirit still cries for justice, and a major obstacle is the lengthy UK extradition process that is tied up in courts and the Secretary of State. But the first step lies with Kenya's Director of Public Prosecution. As we're looking at this, could you briefly just summarize the key facts of the Agnes Wanjiru's case for our listener, especially what is known about what happened, when, and who is involved?
Thank you, Miriam. Thank you so much. The fact is that so far, in respect to what has happened here, we may not be at liberty to disclose exactly in terms of factual what happened, because it's a matter that is in court. But what we've been told so far is an atrocity that has taken so much time for someone to be brought to book, leading us to all these aspects of extradition in terms of the processes there. So we may not be at liberty to discuss in the intricacies of what have happened, because it's a matter that is active in court. But we know that there were orders that were issued for someone to be extradited for offenses here in the country that they committed, and they thought that had gone scot-free over the same.
What is the process of extradition?
All right. Extradition, this one actually is guided by the Commonwealth law that other countries like Kenya, who are part of the Commonwealth, have actually adopted into their local jurisdiction. Initially, when you have an offense that cuts across in terms of territorial jurisdiction, then you have an opportunity for someone to be brought to book by having their local jurisdiction allow them to leave. Because you cannot have like an abduction or a rendition where someone is just taken from a local territory by a different entity. So by mutual agreement, parties agree that certain treaties and certain acts are cut across the board. For instance, this extradition, we have two acts here, 76 and 75, that get us for the same. And we have an instance where a formal request is first of all made by the country that requires this person to be brought. In this instance, Kenya makes a formal request to the UK to make this person be brought here under the provisions of the Act. Then normal process is taken, because this person has to appear before a judicial officer in their jurisdiction for them to assess whether this person is fit and good to be taken through this process. Then if this person does not appear or surrender themselves, then warrants are issued for this person to appear in court.
Okay.
Then after the court, I hope I'm not too fast. After the court process, this person has to be, when adjudged to be fit for extradition, then this person is surrendered to the other jurisdiction, because let's say the UK took him through a process and say a magistrate or a judge decided that, yes, this person needs to be extradited to Kenya, then he is held so that they don't escape being responsible. And then after some time, the person is now taken to Kenyan authorities. But in between, the issues that come across are issues touching on an equivalent of our Attorney General or the person in charge for the same, making that request through the consulate to have this person to have this person actually be taken through this process. There are certain considerations that are normally given so that someone does not just be extradited for offenses and then face maybe persecution or things like that. So there are bits and pieces here and there that have to be considered, where there are certain exceptions. When you look at something like Section 21 of the Act says that certain exceptions, you cannot take maybe someone from a jurisdiction where they're being taken from and where they're being taken to. These two countries do not have like mirroring laws.
Let me ask.
I don't know if you want, that is clear, because when you have mirroring laws, then it's easier to extradite. Let's say if someone has committed an offense like this one, where we are talking about very serious offenses against someone, and these offenses cut across the board. It's not like in the UK, it's not an offense to do what he is alleged to have done. It is still an offense. If the matter would have been that it's not an offense on the other side, then that jurisdiction would not have been considered to extradite him.
Does that mean that he would be tried? Where will he be tried? Okay, so the Kenyan court has ordered for extradition. Does that mean he's being tried in the United Kingdom, or is going to be tried here?
The thing is that he will be tried here because the offenses are actually against a Kenyan within a Kenyan territory, but the only thing is that he ran back to the UK. So the UK is going to conduct a mini trial to ensure that he's fit to be tried in Kenya, in that both his counsel and the public prosecution on the other side will have to consider that if brought to Kenya, will he face persecution or a normal process of law? And the answer is that he will face a normal process of the law, because Kenya actually has the possibilities and capability of trying someone for such offenses, because we have laws that mirror each other. So indeed, he will be tried in Kenya, not in the UK.
Where are we seeing this 13 years later?
This has actually, from what we have learned over the period of time, what has been allowed to be reported, is that there has been a lot of diplomatic back and forth. Because again, when you look at the circumstances around Laikipia and all these other places, you see that you find personnel who are part of the British Army, and you find personnel who may be covered by certain immunities, including diplomatic immunities. So to have all the protocol and all the nitty-gritties bypassed, this depends on political goodwill of the regime that is in power. You may find a regime that, for one reason or another, may not want to participate in extraditing their countrymen, so that they don't lose the political favor of the day. And then you find others who are strictly sticking to the rule of law, where they say if you've committed an offense, we may not protect you, whether the same will make us a popular government or not. So over this long period of time, we found that there was a large debate whereby Kenya was sending emissaries and writing letters, and there are petitions from both the victims and human rights activists, as well as local, even the media. We need to applaud the media for not letting this go, because at the end of the day, it would have been easy for them to sweep this under the rug and say that we do not want to offend the UK, we do not want to push them, and therefore we let this slide. But an injustice somewhere is an injustice everywhere. This is why they really insisted for this person to be brought to book. And now we have now the current Prime Minister Keir Starmer, and he, in his own essence, he's just decided that the right thing has to be done. It depends on the political will up there.
Okay.
That's why we're seeing this. Maybe the Home Secretary and the rest have decided that it's time for this to happen.
Wakili.
Yes.
Nimeona hapa in the same paper wanasema in case of hiyo offense ita lead to death penalty, the Secretary of State anaweza refuse kuorder extradition. Why? Hii statement lazima tuielewe kwa vile watu kitambo walikuwa wanaelewa death sentence itakuwa ni ya kuwa ukihukumiwa kifo itatimizwa.
Lakini Kenya ni mojawapo ya hizo nchi ambazo zimekuwa very progressive, zimeendelea mbele sana kuzingatia haki za kibinadamu. Sasa kwa sasa Kenya imefikia wakati ambapo watu hawapewi kifungo cha kuuliwa tena, yani death sentence hakipeanwi tena. Inakuwa kisheria tunaita commuted to life. Kwa hivyo ukipatikana na kosa lolote ambalo kwa kawaida ama kwa siku za zamani zingekupatia kifungo cha kifo, hapo basi kinabadilishwa kuwa kifungo cha maisha. Na hizo ndizo tulikuwa tunasema exceptional circumstances, zile zinaweza fanya upande ule mwingine wakatae kucooperate ama wakatae kushirikiana na sisi ili huyu asiletwe. Sasa kwa sasa hakuna nafasi yoyote ya wao kutumia jambo kama hilo kujaribu kukataa kumleta hapa nchini, sababu hatuna hiyo death sentence. Sasa saa hii ni kufungwa maisha.
All right then. And then I think finally, if you're looking at beyond criminal liability now, what are the steps towards reparation or restoring dignity and justice for Agnes Wanjiru's family?
On that family side, right now for the offenses that is being extradited are criminal offenses.
Yeah.
Actually, the family has to undertake a separate process where they would be seeking restitution and some sort of compensation for what happened. So to answer your question, I would want to shortly or simply say that this process that is currently undergoing shall not or cannot offer such reparations. But nowadays we've seen what we call judicial independence, where even in criminal judgment, a judge can give orders that offer some sort of monetary compensation or even reparations to be done. But you see, you cannot replace life. You can only be given a punishment that would offer certain monetary aspects to sort of console the bereaved. But in this instance, they have to institute separate proceedings so that they can actually go and see that indeed they get monetary compensation and something to just console them.
All right, then. Thank you so much, Lawrence, for making time. Hello?
You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if you had me all the way to
yes.
to where I say that the compensation. Yes.
Yes, we did. Thank you for making time today.